I would like to call the meeting, a special common council meeting for Wednesday, March 15th to order. For the record, I would just like everybody to know that we are not having the committee of the whole meeting today. That was discussed with myself and Ben Jansen, and we decided since there were no agenda items on that meeting that we would forego that meeting because we were intending on having a special common council. So we are not doing that meeting. Therefore, we have asked the department heads to give an update to us at the special common council meeting, which is not typical. So just want everybody to know what's happening and why we're doing things a little bit differently this month. So with that said, roll call, please.
Marks?
Yes.
Come on, Taylor. Okay. Thompson.
Here.
Lamb.
Yes, here.
On a plane. Manor. Here. Elkin. Here.
Fantastic. All right. We'll start with department head reports. City Administrator Patty Brookland. It's not on here.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everybody. I'm also going to be reading the library report too, because she's on spring break with her daughter May. So car chargers, we're in the process of getting the car chargers in Soo Line Park. We're waiting on the infrastructure to be put in for the power of those charges. Xcel will help with that. Once that's in place, the car chargers will then be installed, hopefully by early spring. So we've already got Xcel on board. We paid them. So Huff Cup restrooms as well are still on slate to be delivered this spring at the Soo Line Park location as well as Michael Park. There need to be upgrades to those areas for implementation of the new restrooms placed there, and Jeff knows all about that. When we did North Park's bathroom, it was a lot of plumbing and things like that. So there's going to be changes to those areas with the construction taking place to get them up and running. I attended the winter conference for the Wisconsin City County Manager Association, March 1st through March 3rd in Fond du Lac. That's such a nice city. I love it there. The training that was given to me was very beneficial. I had very thought-provoking discussions regarding inclusion of people with disabilities and differences in how to navigate that. I think the most interesting part of the discussion was the fact that we're a diverse community with some challenges and many exciting prospects. The challenges really aren't challenges. It needs to be driven by fairness and inclusion along with clarity. I've come to know this community and the individuals that I work with and meet on a daily basis. All of the mentioned do apply and I feel are all relevant. I also learned how to lead in a difficult political environment. The trainings are also geared towards my job as city administrator, and the leadership training gathered at those twice yearly conferences are of extreme benefit for me, and I'll be attending the summer conference June 21st through June 23rd in Green Bay. So decommission of the water tower, SEH will have a pre-construction site walk for the T-Mobile anchor project at Power Street. For the water tower decommission, it'll take place this Friday, March 17th. The work will take place for the changes for the T-Mobile Sprint combination as they move forward with their cell site located on the Power Street water tower. And the civics class field trip, that was fun. I, along with Clerk Treasurer Ben Jansen and Deputy Clerk Treasurer Taylor Larson, had the pleasure of spending time with the civics classes on Monday, March 13th for a few sessions. The middle school students, along with their teachers, Jeremiah Fisk, Ariel Humpel, Tammy Milberg, and Laura Schrogren, were a good group of kids and teachers. I hope they learned how our city government works. We may have some future city employees or council members someday from that group. So thanks for taking the time to visit us, and they thanked us as well. That was a lot of fun. Spring election is April 4th, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Council meeting at 5 o'clock on April 5th, and city officers closed half day for the Good Friday holiday on April 7th. Committee of the whole, and that's the report given by our library director, Heather Riarda. She said, hello, everyone. The library has been busy. Since we last met, we've held 16 educational events, including story times, mystery book club, science fiction book club, the serial reader book club, third Thursday crafting, and books and brews. We also offered a 2-part gardening class called Winter on the Prairie, which taught attendees about native prairie plants, and then brought people to a seed saver greenhouse in Star Prairie for hands-on experiences. On Tuesday, February 28th, The Amory Library hosted a Youth Services Librarian Summit with librarians from Polk and Barron counties and staff from our library system. They will be hosting another session of Play and Learn from May. Play and Learn is a series of weekly 90-minute classes facilitated by a parent educator from the Family Resource Center. Parents learn positive parenting tips and have time to share their struggles and successes. And kids get early literacy education and playtime. They also hosted a group of 4K students to tour the library and learn about how to use it. And everyone had a great time. The intermediate school kids will be visiting the library the last week of March. The community mural project is still going strong. I want to get in there and paint. I think that looks really cool. Completion is about 60%, and we still have some times available for anyone to join in. Groups can sign up on our website to paint in hour-long sessions, and all supplies are provided. And then finally, it looks like she's been conducting an hour survey for the past few weeks to explore whether or not the library should be open later than 1 p.m. on Fridays. Their current schedule is left over from before the move, and they've seen countless patrons trying to come into the building on Fridays after 1. It's important to base these types of decisions on measurable data, though, so I will continue to run the survey for several more weeks and then analyze the results. The survey is available on our website, on Facebook, and a paper copy is at the main desk. She'll keep everyone apprised as they evaluate next steps. Thank you, and please call or email me if you have any questions. Any questions or okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. All right, next up, Clerk Treasurer Ben Jansen.
Oh, it's been busy. Let's see. I've been working with Baird Capital on our sewer bond just to get everything done. A lot of calls and stuff like that. So we actually should be getting our funds in a week, actually, on the 22nd next week. Be hitting our account. The Arts, Parks, and Rec Committee met on March 7th. The big topic is downtown beautification, with 63 and 65 going to be shut down this summer. So we'll be having our next meeting on April 11th to discuss more ideas. Plan Commission will be having their first meeting in quite a while. They'll be meeting on the 23rd to discuss a conditional use permit. The applicant wants to do the exact same thing that Ron Dix did. Short-term rentals for hospital workers. And then a survey map, which Sarah's pretty familiar with, I imagine. Patty, Jeff, and I met with Chris Strait from the Regional Planning Commission yesterday to discuss their hazard mitigation plan they're doing for Polk County. So pretty soon here, I'll have a resolution for you guys to pass to adopt that. The spring election, like Patty said, will be taking place in about 3 weeks. So early in-person voting will be starting next Tuesday and will run through March 31st. And I'm letting Taylor take the rest of the election stuff. So you guys got any more questions?
No.
All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. Police Chief.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Well, I decided to, because the last one that we did was January 15th to February 15th. So I'm going to streamline it, do the last February 15th to the 28th, and then we'll just do it monthly by then. Makes more sense to me. So in those couple weeks, really not much going on. Not many major calls. Had a whole total of 129. 16 citations issued out of 15 traffic stops. 9 warnings issued. From those, 1 crime was committed. I believe it was a disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and that person was referred to the district attorney's office. Out of the school issues that we've had, there's 4 citations for truancy, 4 for vape offenses, because the kids are still doing stuff they shouldn't be doing that way. Going on with the police department is going. We're doing our first staff meeting on the 30th. We're going to get input from the other officers and start making some changes that I think are necessary for our department to make it run smoother. Policies are moving along now because a lot of our policies are over 10 years old, and that's putting us at a possible liability for certain situations. So we're revamping the whole new policies. I hope to get chapter 1 done by April 1st. We have 15 or 16 chapters of a whole bunch of different policies, and then implement them where we're going to be using a new program where they'll get emailed, they'll have to held accountable for them, read them, They'll tell me how much time they spent on them. I'll get the emails back just to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Mhm.
So we're gonna be doing that. I've been attending Northwestern University online to better the supervisor stuff. So I'm trying to get that in there as well. The civics classes I came through, it was fun watching some of these kids. Or reminds me of myself, some of them when I had hair. And out of the whole group, only 2 wanted to be officers, possibly. So we gotta work on that a little bit. Our issues, it's been going down and stuff. We're doing updates and all that for our report management system and all that, but everything is going smoother for the most part in a lot of things.
All right, thank you, Steve.
I saw there was a big write-up in the paper regarding the Pioneer Press. Is that?
Thank you for reminding me. I
Yes.
forgot about that.
We'll address that where it's at and so.
Well, I didn't see the write-up in the press, but I did a press release regarding this incident. As a officer in the state of Wisconsin, you're allowed to have discretion. That means basically you stop a vehicle, you have the discretion to give them a citation or the right to give them a verbal or written warning. You could even take it as far as driving by going, hey, I understand. Okay. As a law enforcement executive, I cannot give my officers or tell them, hey, you can't write the citation or you have to write the citation. That'd be unethical for me.
Mhm.
Unethical of me, I should say. Also, the reason why we give citations out is to curb behavior. If you keep on committing the same violation and you keep on getting citations, well, what's the end result of that? You know, you're going to eventually lose your license, get points, insurance goes up and all that. But that's not based on the officers. That's based on the person committing the violations. And I'll stand here today and say, we do not have a policy that says that we target, harass, intimidate, discriminate against any kind of drivers, let alone delivery drivers. There is no policy, and there never is going to be a policy on giving people the right to violate the state law. If you choose to make that or if you choose to violate the law and you get stopped by an officer, that's on you. You know, I can't, like, again, I can't tell my officers to say, hey, you need to give these people a break because they're working, they're doing a job. What about all the other people who are working and doing their jobs? What about the person that happens to see the officer giving someone a break when they're looking out their house at 2 a.m. when they had to use the washroom when they got up for sort of whatever reason? And they look out and they see an officer walk up to the car. Oh, it's just the paper guy. And that person's thinking, hey, I just got a citation for getting the mail on the wrong side when I came home from work the other day or last week or last year. So to me, you got to apply it fairly and impartially. Do I feel empathy for them? Yes. They've been doing this for 19, 20 years, some of them. But if you think it on the other end, they've gotten a break every day for 19, 20 years then. So if you would figure that's what I had the paperwork for this, but it would come out to over $700,000 in violations if they got a citation every single day. And they didn't, even though they admitted they did this every day for 20 years. Now, what used to be done about this, I'm not really going to comment about that because I wasn't here. But what's the right thing to do is what I'm focused on right now. Right thing to do is allow my officers to use discretion. So as much as I might want to say, give them a ticket, give them a break, or allow them to do what they want, I can't do that. And I won't do that. And I don't believe in that. Discretion is there for a reason. And I'd be undermining my officers if I let this person go or give them or release a citation because they're just doing their job. Because that's not fair to everybody else, because then we're going to have a whole bunch of phone calls, a whole bunch of people that have gotten citations, calling you guys, knocking on our door saying, hey, I was just working. I want my citation released too. You know, so I'm a little long-winded.
It's okay.
I would offer solutions. I am prepared for another solution if they ever decided to come here. I think it would be great, but
Okay,
they expect a lot of things and try to use threats and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna be bullied, so.
okay,
Sorry.
thank you. Reginald, clarification.
Thank you for that clarification, Steve. Appreciate it. Fire chief.
Well, I know if I would have been here for that civics class, I'm sure I could have probably recruited more than 2 people for firefighters. So, good evening. Earlier this year, the city council approved the purchase of a piercing nozzle from K3 Fire. K3 Fire was here for our training on February 20th and demonstrated the nozzle. After the demonstration, we, the fire department members, had a meeting to discuss the purchase. And it was decided not to buy it. Yeah, it just didn't do what we thought it was going to do. The majority of the firefighters said for what it does, it's just way too much money for us right now. So, saying that, we thought it was going to actually cut material, grain bins, car hoods, but it just pierces a hole and then sprays water on the backside. So for the price right now, we're going to wait. I talked to him. I said, well, when you come up with a nozzle that will actually cut, and he said, we are working on it. I said, then let us know. Mm-hmm. But they really had some other really nice nozzles there for $750, which I have in the budget that I'm pretty much going to get. It's called an aspirating nozzle. And he said it'll lay a layer of foam knee deep, and it'll put out almost any fire that we, except probably electric cars. So anyway, so yeah, so as far as the piercing nozzle, we are not going to be getting that this year.
Interesting.
I know there was a lot of snow on the ground and spring is not too far away, but I want to bring it up to everybody's attention right now. I want the people to know there is no burning of leaves or rubbish in the Amory city limits. I know I went to a couple of houses last year. I know Officer Cartwright went to a couple of houses last year. Just let you know that there is a $124 fine for burning rubbish and leaves in the city limits. I will bring this up again next month, just in case nobody heard it today. So, and last but not least, the fire department will be having a pancake breakfast on Saturday, April 8th from 7 to 11. And this year they're calling it Bunny Bash. And if it's inclement weather, they asked if they could have it in the fire hall. And I said, nah, not a problem. So, I don't know. That's all I have. So.
Thank you. In Humus, when you mentioned electric cars or battery cars, what is that situation?
Right now, there's really hard to get training for them right now because they are so new. I know that the 24th and 25th of March, we have firefighters going to Rice Lake for Northwoods Tech training. They are going over electric vehicle extrication and fire for that. Me and 3 other officers are going to be going to Balsam Lake. I do believe it's April 26th. Fort Burnett is actually putting they have a curriculum going for training that day, and it's going to be countywide for fire departments, countywide, and they are specifically going after the electronic vehicles, because there really is nothing to say this is what we got to do. So we're still in the process of training, and hopefully that I'm really hoping that the one in that Polk Burnett is going to be doing in April is, I'm really looking forward to that one.
So what are the dimensions of the things?
There was one scenario where the batteries actually started on fire and they dumped 45,000 gallons of water on it and did not put it out.
Holy crap. Ooh.
It just kept burning. So, I mean, right now, the best thing you could probably do is get an excavator, dig a hole, put the car in the hole and cover it up with dirt. I mean, yeah. So
You know, I haven't had no formal training on electric vehicle fires. And not only fires, but I mean, just extrication of these vehicles, where to cut, you know, and training for that also. Last year I heard Tesla was actually had a real good program going through, and they were, I don't know, this is a rumor, that they actually donated cars to train fire departments how to do extrication and car fires for electric vehicles. But
Is there a danger for the firefighter to
electrocution, absolutely.
Hmm.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Yeah. It's even for you know, your hybrids, you got your gas and electric. You got in the wrong spot. Yeah, you got electrocuted. You can kill you. Absolutely. So
yeah, that training is impaired.
absolutely. So that's why, and then when they have this one up in Polk County, and I'm getting officers that are going up there are going to come back here, and we're going to train our guys on what we know from and get more information where we can go, where we can keep training our guys. And because more and more every day, all these electronic vehicles are coming out, or electric vehicles are coming out. So, I mean, it's, yeah, so it's something we have to keep up. So absolutely.
Especially with the new chargers coming in.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, we're attracting them to town, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, but yeah. So it's, I mean, if you think about it, it's pretty dangerous for us guys. So anyway,
Okay.
anything else?
No.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. And Director of Public Works, Jeff.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Mine will be short and sweet. All we've done is plow snow, repair equipment that's been broke. And we did have a little problem at the community center, senior center, whatever you want to call it, had some ice dams and the roof is leaking, so we had to cut out some insulation and sheetrock, and we're getting that repaired. We're just doing it ourselves to try to save a few bucks. And that's what we've done. Any questions?
With the bathrooms being put in at Sewing Park, how long is that going to take approximately? It took a while, but
Yeah, it'll be about the same. It won't be quite as bad because we know what we're doing. I would say it'll be a 3-week process by the time it's done.
I saw Mortensen over here this morning. This after they were over kind of where the Historical Society stuff is.
Okay.
Just curious if that was something you were working on.
On them.
Oh,
So
well, now you know.
yeah, exactly.
thanks, Jeff.
Well, I want to commend your team for doing everything they can to get the roads plowed quickly. And it has gone really well. So kudos to you guys. Yeah. And Taylor, Deputy Clerk Treasurer.
With election preparation in full swing on Monday, I went up to Polk County and actually picked up our ballots and our memory devices for the voting machine. We actually got our ballots stuffed into the envelopes on Monday also, and they went to the post office. So people should be getting absentee ballots if they requested them sometime this week. I also went around to the nursing homes today and let them know that the special voting deputies will be coming next week to conduct nursing home voting. So we actually send people out to the nursing home assisted living facilities so that they don't have to try and come to us for voting or try and get them in the mail. And then with recycling committee was supposed to be last week. That has now been bumped. It is going to be next Wednesday, I believe at 2 p.m. So we'll get to review their trip that they went to the recycling facility and their different objectives. Fire committee recently met and they went over some of the repairs that are going to be done to the engine. They had already had what needed to be done, but the company came back with a few more things. So fire committee went through all of that. They made the final decisions and I got that off to the company so that they know what they need to work on the truck. With the auditors being here in February, Jonathan had talked to me about starting to work on the PSC report, which is all of our water information that we have to have submitted into the PSC. So I have been spending quite a bit of time trying to get some of that updated on the numerous Excel pages that are in that document and trying to figure out where to get that from since it's my first time doing it. And then, like I said, we have the civics kids here on Monday, and it was really neat to get to see them and kind of explain to them that it was not that long ago that Michaela and I were sitting in their seats. The different roles that they can take in city government. So, any questions?
No,
Thank you.
thanks, Taylor.
None of the kids wanted to work at City Hall though.
One wanted to be council person.
All right, and we were gonna have a follow up with the building inspector, but yeah, he is not available. So next on the agenda is public comment. Does anybody have any comments for us? I see nobody here, so, and this was published, so I'm going to assume that there is nothing here. We'll move on to the city insurance RFP.
All right, there is the big binder clipped packet. That is the best bid we got. It's the only bid we got, actually, I believe, even our own current company didn't. Back.
Interesting.
So the League of Municipalities was the best bid, and they're like, I think it is.
Yeah, they're 15,000 cheaper. And I've actually worked with these folks in the past.
I'm glad that you actually reached out to them. I mean, well, we want to use local services, you know, considering the unique nature of city government, it's sometimes better to go with your
They're out of
agencies that are.
Spectrum Insurance Group, and they manage the getting to be bigger and bigger. The longer we're in the league insurance, we actually get dividends back, which is always kind of nice. I think now they used to do it when you first started, and then they do them every year. But that's it's kind of a co-op. I mean, we're all part of the league co-op, and then we get dividends back, and we can use those towards whatever we want in our city. So always kind of a nice. It doesn't amount to a whole lot, but it can be upwards of a couple $1,000 or so. And then they also have good training for public works. They'll actually have the good training for them. Plus, they will pay for the high vis vests and things like that. For them. They have a certain allowance where they'll pay for that. So,
yeah, I think it's on like the third page or something. Yeah. It's like the 2% of workers' comp or whatever can come back for safety related equipment.
Yeah, so they can get all that.
We'll also pay for the rewriting of our policy.
Oh, yes.
Police department too.
For the police department, we get
Interesting. They probably have maybe some templates that you can use and that type of thing.
With the company. Right, so
You're talking in like Sue.
The company I'm working with is CSI. He apparently did the policies before in the past, and they were neglected for the longest time. And so I'm reached out to him, and we've got a new working relationship. So I get a couple policies a week, and we make them work. And so his billing would be we'll get the bill, and the insurance will cover it. So
nice. That's great.
Save us lots of money.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
a lot of perks.
Yeah, I saw, and I bothered Ben about it before, but there's about data security, information security, IT security, and I see that in this, there's a package for cyber training. And I suggest that somebody should take a look at what they offer, because it's a lot easier to figure out what you want to do before you have to do it.
We did upgrade with Dan over at Connecting Point. We have Viper software right now that kind of helps us with our security, but we bumped it up even into more specific coverage so that we have better security in that regard. So, so yeah, we should probably bump it up to better, so.
Just one question, just because it's on the top of the list is property. So I'm assuming that this is up to date new building. So how does this differ from our previous policy? Did that encompass this new building? I'm pretty sure it did.
Everything. Yep.
Yeah.
I gave them a comparison to what we currently have.
Yes.
And let them look it over. Because that's fair.
Mhm.
And they can
Oh, of course.
have, and then they just kind of did apples to apples type
Mhm.
thing and went to other carriers and that's what they came up with was that total.
Okay,
So
good.
they actually went on the higher end on some things just because, I mean, we don't know the valuations moving
Mhm.
forward.
Mhm.
Just give us a little bit of a cushion in there
Mhm.
on the values.
Mhm.
We still say 15,000.
That's great.
Who was the insurance with last year previously?
That was Gallagher. We had Gallagher Insurance Group and they do the
EMC.
EMC is a big is a big company that we insure through is EMC. Yep.
And you came in $15,000 less than them.
Yep.
With the added perks too.
With added perks. Mhm. Yep. So it's a good, they're a good company. I've gone, like when we go to the league meetings, they sponsor all those. So they have a lot of good information for everybody. You as a council, us as the department heads, they have a lot of safety things for Jeff.
And they're tied into the water and sewer.
And they're tied in, yep.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
They're tied in with the water and sewer and everything too, so it worked out well.
Okay.
I love the league. I mean, I've worked with them much in the past and they're a good, solid company. Mhm.
Well, that saves the city a lot of money by doing this, so
Mhm.
good work.
So are we at a point that we shall be approving this
I
to
think
move
so.
forward?
So, yeah, I think we can just, if you want to approve it, I'll get a hold of him tomorrow and I'll call him and say, Ryan, let's go. We want to, because our other one expires.
May 8th or
Yeah. So, I mean, we're still insured through them, but once that expires, then we'll have.
By such an odd date.
Oh, it is kind of an odd date. I don't know, but I think they do theirs annually. So we'll have a different policy period moving
Okay.
forward.
So is there a way for us to do this May 8th through 12/31?
Yes.
So a short period time and then go
And then we
calendar
start-
go forward.
start
So
forward.
is that something that we can write into this, or will it be a year and a half? And then we'll go calendar year.
I think it'll be a year and a half and then we'll go calendar year. I think that's the only way we can do it
Yeah, it makes sense.
based on his proposal. Yep.
I'll make a motion that we accept that insurance.
Second it. All right, motion's been made and seconded to improve the RFP from Spectrum Insurance Group effective May 8th, 23. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, so we have the next on the agenda is closed session, Wisconsin statute 19.85 sub 1 sub 3, city administrator. Considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Need a roll call to go into closed session. I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor, or excuse me,
Roll call.
roll call.
So now we need it. Marks,
Yeah, yes, yes,
Lanham,
yes.
Banner,
Good.
Nelson.
Yes.
All right, we will be in closed session and we will ask for everybody to excuse